Hey guys, this is video 7 in our geometry unit, and we are going to construct angles today. We're going to create them. Now yesterday we measured them, but now we're going to make them. So here's how we do it. First of all, we always start with our center. Okay, so we start with our vertex, and we create one of our rays. We create the bottom ray. Okay, it can be anywhere. Then we line up our protractor so that the middle notch is right on our vertex, and we put a pencil mark. Okay, we follow our ray over. We go to wherever it is, whatever degrees we want to go. Let's say we're doing a 60-degree angle. We follow out, find 0, we count up to 60, and we put a little hash mark right there. Then we turn our protractor. Okay, so far I've lined it up, I've found 0, I've counted up to 60, and I've put a little hash mark. Then we connect that hash mark at 60 with our center, and that's our other ray. And now I've made an angle of 60 degrees where these two rays are 60 degrees apart from each other. And we always just double check and make sure that it's exactly correct. Okay, we verify with our protractor. So let's look at let's start with an easy one. Okay, I'm going to start with 60. All right, so we start with our center. Okay, and we start with a ray. Doesn't matter whether you out to the right or the left. We line up our center and we line up the bottom of our protractor with this. If you don't line up the bottom, it is not going to work. Okay, and then we come over and find 0. We count up to 60. 60 and 120 are at the same point. Okay, that's the same thing. I'm going to just put a little hash mark up there. Okay, I would be at 0 and I'm counting up, even though 120 is on the top, 60 is the same number, and I use that same line up here. Then I connect this with my point. Now this part's important. You've got to make sure that it's not out like that or like that. It has to be exactly connecting those two, and then you put your arrow, we mark it, we label it, and we're done. Okay, let's try another one. Let's say we're doing 135. Now this one is acute, right? Let's do an obtuse one. Let's go out the other way. Okay, this time let's have our ray coming out this way. Actually, I'm going to erase it and move it over a little bit because I don't want to run out of space. All right, so we line this up. Okay, we follow our ray out to 0, and we are going to count the top numbers all the way to 130. There's 140, so 135 is going to be right in the middle. Put a little hash mark. I'm going to connect that hash mark with my center, and this angle is 135 degrees. Okay. Now 90, these are the angles that nobody ever likes to measure. They just think they can eyeball it. And guess what? There's no eyeballing when we're constructing an angle. You start with your bottom line. You have to use a straight edge to do it. You line this up. 90 is probably the easiest one to do after it's lined up. You just come up and make a mark at 90. I could do it there or I could do it there. I line this up with my center. Come down. This, my friends, is a 90-degree angle. We don't just eyeball it. What if I wanted to do an angle that's bigger than 180? What if I wanted to do like a 220-degree angle? Well, that's a little tricky, but I bet we can figure it out. Start with our ray, just like we do all the other ones. Line it up. Now, my protractor only goes to 180, right? So I know that I can at least go 180, but how much more do I have to go after that? Well, I think I need to go like 40 more, right? A whole circle all the way around would be 360, right? So let's see. If I measure a 140-degree angle, watch this. Follow 0, 140 is over here, okay? If I measure this, This part right here is 140, right? But that's not what I wanted. I wanted the other side. So I can just mark this side as my 220 because those two together make a full circle. So I can just subtract and see what's left to do on the other side. We could do that with something else too. Let's say we had to do, let's say we had to do a 230 degree angle. Well, that's kind of boring. We just did 220. How about 250? Okay. If I wanted to do 250 degree angle, my protractor doesn't go that far, but I can do the partner. Okay. To make a full circle, the partner with that is 110, right? So I can do a 110 degree angle. And then I'm just not going to use it. I'm going to just use the other side. Okay, so there's 90, there's 110. I'm just going to put a little mark there, even though it goes through my number. It doesn't matter, just as long as stuff's lined up. All right, so this side is 110. That means the opposite side is my 250 because together they make a full circle. So I'm just not going to mark this side. I'm going to use the other side. So that's kind of cool, right? And we'll do more of this stuff in class, but hopefully this gives you an idea of how we're going to construct angles. Not super hard. It's just angles you have to be really precise. Okay, you've got to be really careful with a protractor, and that's sometimes why kids have a hard time is that it moves on you. You've just got to be super careful. Here's a fun fact that I did not know. On a die, okay, or a pair of dice, you know those little dots, right? You've got like 4 on this side, and let's say you got like, actually, they actually, was that another fun fact? They do have a certain pair. They add up, they add up to 7? I think the opposites add up to 7. I might be wrong. You guys look at a die and see if it's 4 on one side, 3 on the other. But anyway, these little things right here are called pips. And I did not know that. The little dots on a die are called pips. There's your fun fact for today. All right, guys, I hope you have a great afternoon, and I will see you soon.